Hello, happy Wednesday, and welcome to our 3 out of 4. So 3 out of 4 of our coach mentorship calls. So this is going to be all things social media. We know that one of the biggest anxieties around this business is social media. Am I going to look dumb? Are people going to judge me? How am I going to know what to do? What do I post? What do I say? We get so paralyzed overthinking social media. But this business is such a blessing in the sense that you get to build and create an impact and an income without ever leaving your home or your vacation spot or your office chair or wherever it is that you like to do your job, your car, on your phone. You can do everything behind a screen, which is so nice because it's so convenient, but it's also so easy to not do because you spend so much time overthinking and there's nobody behind you that's going to make you put up a post, that's going to make you show up in stories, that's going to make you put yourself out there authentically. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But we really want you to just be open to learning, be open to trying, and understand that it becomes easier when you start taking action. When you get in the car and start driving, the map unfolds itself. But if you sit on the sidelines and you don't even turn the ignition of the car, you don't get better. You can't learn because there's no forward progress that's happening. So we're going to give you some tips and some tricks and talk about social media today, but just know action over everything.
Yes. All right, so sharing my screen real quick. Here we go. So why social media? So our social media supports the conversations that we're having. We've talked about, as a new coach, what you should be focusing on is sharing your excitement. If you're getting great results, share it with the people closest to you. If you're showing up and talking about your journey or sharing your workouts, what you show on social media supports the conversations that you're having, online or offline, because people can go and be like, let me see what she's doing. Like, okay, she's sending this message. She seems really excited. What is it that she's doing? But we want you to know that your page, your social media is you, right? We are Beachbody coaches. That's part of what we do and who we've aligned with. But I'm not Beachbody. I'm Raquel McAfee. So on my page, you're going to see me share who I am. You're going to see my personality. I'm going to obviously give you tips and we'll go into the kind of content. But at the end of the day, you're going to see me, and you're not going to see a walking, talking Beachbody billboard. Okay, so we just want to make sure that you know that you're going to share yourself, your journey and what's working for you. But again, social media just helps you share, and it's kind of like showcasing your journey. So it makes it easier to follow when people can come check you out and see what it is that you're doing. Our goals for when we are posting or showing up online is always to add value in every post. And you're probably thinking, what does add value even mean? It just means you're either there educating, sharing tips or helpful things that you're learning across your journey that would be helpful for somebody else. You're entertaining. Maybe you're doing something funny, or you share a funny meme, or something that's going to make somebody smile or laugh, or you're there to inspire. You never know who you're inspiring, and often it's people that never comment, that never engage with you, but behind the scenes, they're watching and they're inspired by seeing you go first. So never underestimate the power that you have by just showing up and sharing where you are. And not every day is a great day in our health and fitness journey. There's ebbs and flows, but you showing up throughout it all is truly inspiring other people. And again, showcasing your story, who you are. And when we do this consistently, it builds the know, like, and trust factor. Jessica and I, just to give you a little backstory of us, when we signed up 6 years ago, neither one of us had a presence online at all. I think we posted when we got married, when we had a baby, and that was it. I was there like scrolling and watching people, but I wasn't somebody who actively posted. The day we became coaches, we were like, and now we show up. And back then, the goal for posting was three times a day. So we showed up without fail, posting on our social media for 3 times a day. And what that did is it built that know, like, and trust factor. So people got to know who we are and our personalities. Since we showcased that, it attracted people who were just like us and who enjoyed our content. And then it also showed that we were in this. Like, we didn't just sign up. We weren't going to just be a flash in the pan, because there was a lot of people who signed up as coaches and they're here 1 month and gone the next. And when people are signing up with you to say, hey, I need help in my health and fitness, they want to know that they can sign up with you and have the trust that you're going to be there for them. in a month, in 2 months, in 6 months, in a year. The worst thing you can do is sign up and then just go MIA, and they're like, well, great, I paid for this, now I have no help or accountability. So really showing up consistently really shows that they can put their trust in you. So how do you start building a brand on social media from scratch?
So don't get overwhelmed by the concept of building a brand, because it makes it sound like I have no expertise. I need to spend all this time learning. I know that if you would have said those things to us, like, hey, you need to build a brand 6 years ago, we would have been like, ooh. Instead, just imagine that you're posting for yourself. And that will really help. So every time that you're about to post something or you're thinking something, think, okay, if someone else was posting, would I enjoy this? Would this benefit me? And that will help you kind of naturally create a brand without overthinking it. Because really, your target market is you from 5 minutes earlier. Like, who is your person, whether it's a mom or it's a full-time employee or a dog mom or whoever it is that you are right now, you're speaking to that person. Because if you try to speak to everyone, you're going to speak to no one. So you try to post things that are going to be funny to you, not everybody, because I have a differences of humor than everybody else. But if you relate to me, we're probably going to get along well as a client coach match. And that is the goal, is you want to be attracting people to you that are naturally going to have a strong relationship. So be who you are, where you are, and be on your journey authentically. You don't need to already be at your weight loss goal. Maybe you are at your weight loss goal. That's fine too, but be authentic in that and talk about how you're maintaining. Maybe you're in a process of losing weight. You need to be talking about that transformation. You need to be talking about the decisions that you're making every day that are putting you closer to that. Maybe you have really rocked a morning routine and it's helped you to find your energy for the day, and it's helped you recenter, and it's helped your anxiety and calmed you down. Talk about that. Maybe helping you lose the weight has reemerged a confidence that you had lost for years because you just thought you were never going to be the same after having kids. And now you've realized, you know what? I can still be full of energy and life and have my own identity and fit into my clothes and feel strong and healthy. Talk about that, because there's someone that is just like you who hasn't yet found this opportunity, who needs to hear that it's possible and needs someone like you showing the way. So be that person and be super authentic. You can have the most beautiful, pristine, perfect social media and reach absolutely no one if it's fake, and if it doesn't resonate, and if it doesn't come authentically from you. Social media is not about being perfect. It's not about being aesthetically pleasing. It is about being authentic and real. What people want right now is to see themselves in someone else. When you look on social media and you're following a blogger or a lifestyle person or whatever it is that they're doing, you see yourself in their story. Oh, their house is a similar vibe as mine. I want to see how they're decorating because maybe I'm going to be inspired. Well, you know, I watch people who do like these incredible charcuterie boards. I'm never going to make one of those boards, but I'm obsessed. I'm inspired because I'm like, that's my season. I want to be that person. I'm not going to do it. But then maybe you're seeing those people that are, you know, they look like you. They've got similar lifestyles or same age as you. What are they wearing? I want to see where they got it. You know, you are resonating because they are in the same life stage as you. Same thing for this. They see you. Okay, she has she has 3 small kids. She's working full time. She's hustling, but she's also finding time for her health and fitness. She was able to get her body back after having a baby. If she can do it, she can help me do it. And that is who I am attracting, and that's what I'm putting in. I'm then adding the value like we talked about. Don't overthink it, in ways that you can entertain, educate, and inspire. 3 posts that I put last week just to kind of give you ideas. So I did a post about personal development books that I'm reading because that's something that I would find valuable. I love learning what other people are reading. So I posted that because if I saw it, I would be like, oh, thank you. I love new ideas on what good reads are or good podcasts are. I posted a dessert recipe because your girl has a sweet tooth, but I don't like to waste my calories and I'm trying to continue losing that baby weight. I don't want to sabotage myself by eating a bunch of junk. So I posted a recipe that's super guilt-free, but also super freaking delicious. Mm-hmm. That relates to my target market. My people have a sweet tooth. They want to have something that's simple and guilt-free that they can chew on and feel happy and excited. Entertaining. I posted a reel yesterday about trying to be trendy, but I couldn't be trendy because I'm a mom who's had 3 kids and I'm gonna pee my pants. That has nothing to do with health and fitness, but it's super relatable to my target market of other moms who are also like, yes, why are we jumping rope at 35 years old? Like, no, my bladder's not here for it. That relates. So that shows them that, okay, she gets me. We're the same season. She can help me with my goals.
Yes. Okay, so we also know that we've had a lot of questions on like, what was it? How do I take a picture? How do I take a selfie? What does it need to look like? And I will tell you, In the beginning, it's not going to be good. I had never taken a photo of myself prior to being a coach. I took group photos, but like a selfie wasn't a thing. Now, I will say we live in 2021, and I don't think selfies are as strange as they were back in 2015. I think everyone takes a selfie now, and it's just part of our culture. But I don't want you to get too caught up in this aspect right now. We're going to obviously teach you how to take a good photo so you feel good and you feel confident about it, but don't stress too much. Again, your only goal in the beginning is to see if you can, one, get results for yourself, two, share your journey with the people closest to you and get them joining our group. That's it. Until you can lock that in, don't worry about the aesthetic of your feed. Nothing else matters. Now, we're going to share this with you because we get questions on it all the time. So we're going to go ahead and let you know it. But just know that's it. Get progress, get results for yourself, get a transformation, share with the people around you, invite them to join our group. That's it. Okay. So just so we can get it going, helpful tips for lighting and composition. This makes a big difference. So to take a good photo, if you can get in front of a window and get natural light, there's a window in front of us. So we're facing that window so that we have better light. If the light is behind you, you're going to come out a little bit dark. So if you can get natural light or even like a small selfie ring light from Amazon, I think they're like $10. You can clip them on your phone. It lights up. You can take a picture and then that's going to help brighten up your photo a lot. Position of photos. If you can make sure that you are centered, crop out excess space, the better. It's just going to take a better photo. And like we said, ultimately, absolutely, you're going to take pictures of yourself, your kids, your family, maybe your dog. But majority of what you're sharing, you're going to be in your photos. So don't be afraid. I know it's awkward. I know if you're like, I just don't like to be in the photos, or I'm maybe not at my goal weight. I will tell you again, don't wait until you're at your goal weight. Share where you are now, because somebody who is at where you are now is going to see you and be like, dang, she's doing it. I can do it too. Utilize the timer on your phone. There's a 10-second and a 3-second timer on the iPhone. I'm assuming it's the same for the Android. You can set a little timer. We prop it up like on anything. We literally propped it up on a cup, right?
Works so
Set
good.
the timer, step back, boom, take a picture, and away we go. You can, again, we can prop it up on objects. You can get a $12 phone stand off Amazon. That's what I use.
Tripod.
Like a little tripod. That's what I use to like record myself talking or doing videos.
Or have one.
Oh, she has one. Bust it out. Yeah. And then it folds up nicely. You can take it with you. We literally bust this out anywhere, right?
I use it for my videos too.
It's super helpful. Stock up on photos. So a lot of times you'll see us post photos, and if you were to see us what we look like in our home, it doesn't look like that photo, right? So on days like today where I did my hair and my makeup, I'm probably going to stock up on photo. I may post it today. I may post it in a week. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't need to be real time.
It doesn't need to be real time. So if you're like, I kind of look like junk, I can't get a photo up, it's okay. On days where you feel like I look good, I feel good about myself. Maybe it's on church Sunday where you actually put on real clothes and get your hair done. Cool. Take a photo, switch out the top, take another photo, work smarter, not harder, right? So stock up on photos. We always say create a photo album in your phone that you can have photos stocked up. When we're together, I like to take photos and be like, hey, can you get a picture of me here? And I save it for when I'm ready to post something, I will already have a photo ready to go. Now, there's tons of apps available. Again, don't stress too much about the apps, but there's different ones that can help you edit or make things brighter. The ones that we like are Facetune, VSCO, and Lightroom. Specifically Lightroom we use a lot because it's super user friendly. It takes a minute, but we're going to show you the difference, but it can really brighten up a photo and make your picture pop. And that can make the difference if somebody's scrolling along and it's like a boring photo or one that's really bright and fun. Naturally, we are drawn to like brighter, lighter photos. So people will stop and then read your caption, because you could have the best caption. You could be educating, you could be providing so much value, but if your photo is kind of like dark and dim, no one's going to stop their scroll to read it. So that's why we want to encourage you to do that. One of the best things that we can do is, if you want, you can buy a preset. You could just literally Google phone presets. I think we've gotten ours off Etsy.
They're like $5.
They're $5.
I mean, you can spend as much as you want.
Yeah.
But the ones I have are super inexpensive, and I use them all the time.
Right. And then they'll give you directions. I couldn't even tell you how to upload it into Lightroom. Like, I don't know. I literally, when I bought a preset, I just step-by-step follow the directions. You put it in Lightroom, and then from there on, when I take a picture, I just put it into Lightroom app, and then my preset's there, and boom, in a minute, we're good to go. My preset brightens up my photo. photo and then I'm going to post. It takes all of the guesswork out of like, how do I make my photo brighter? We used to play that game, but thank God for presets. That was a game changer.
Because I'm not a photographer.
I'm not a photographer. I don't have an eye for aesthetic things. Like that's just not my wheelhouse, and that's okay. But again, don't stress about this too much. We'll be teaching more about this, but this is, I know y'all guys asked, so we wanted to let you know. So here's an example of what I just talked about. On the picture on the left, Jessica's in her kitchen and she's using natural lighting. She's facing the window using natural lighting to get the best picture that's going to be bright and light. Definitely use natural light whenever possible.
So much easier.
This right here in the middle is like my little setup behind the scenes of where I work out in my loft upstairs. You can see I have a little tripod stand and then I have a ring light. That was an investment in my business. I'll be honest, it was $80, right? It's an $80 for ring light. You by no means need to go out there and buy that. If you have a good lighting with a window or you just have really good lighting, my lighting upstairs is just terrible. So I bought this ring light and it's helped me. I've had it for like 5 years. It's been great. Don't need to get it in case you want to. I got it off Amazon, $80. And then on the right, as you can see, the difference of a photo with a preset. Picture on the left, not bad photo. I have a white wall behind me, not too bad. But then I popped on that preset and you can see what a difference to make my photo pop a little bit more. And again, that's just the difference of having somebody stop their scroll, because most people in the feed don't necessarily have those bright photos, so it's going to catch their attention. But I wanted to show you what those look like.
Okay, so what do you do on the caption? So that was kind of a quick synopsis of what are you doing to catch her attention and catch her photos. And that same thing goes for if you're posting like food photos. Like it doesn't always have to be your face in there, which I know sometimes is overwhelming and it's kind of changed throughout the years, but you can take a picture of your food. People love recipes.
Oh, yes.
They love to see what you're eating. So don't shy away from that. You know, that's something you can post 1 to 2 times a week, easy. And that kind of takes the pressure off of you always being behind the camera, which I know is a little bit nerve-wracking. But then what are you going to say? Because you want to catch their attention with that photo, and then you want to catch their attention with that first line so that they have a reason to continue reading. Because if you don't catch them with that first line, they're likely to keep scrolling. The problem that we kind of are always trying to be smarter than is that we live in a microwave society. People's attention spans are like 3 seconds long. No joke. And if you do not entertain them or capture them or tell them what's happening, like let's say sweet tooth recipe, like simple guilt-free sweet tooth recipe. If I put that in the first line, someone's going to stop and they're going to scroll because they want to know what is that sweet tooth guilt-free recipe.
That's simple.
That's going to, yeah. They're like, I want simple, I want guilt-free, and I love my sweets. Okay, you've got me. What's the recipe? That is going to capture them. So I would do a picture of the dessert that I made, and then I'm posting the recipe below. They're going to either save it or screenshot it, or they're going to be on that post and they're going to learn about it, and they're going to say, okay, I need to remember this girl because she posts these things that I like. So that's what you're thinking, and you're thinking, how can I pull them in? So when you're capturing with that first line, just do something that's going to be intriguing and exciting. You can do one-liners, you can do negative wording, meaning like, I never thought I would feel comfortable in my own skin, because that's going to reach somebody. So many women out there, I would say 90% of women out there aren't comfortable in their own skin. So if you're saying, I never thought I would be comfortable in my own skin until, then they're like, what did you do to get comfortable in your skin? I must learn because I am currently a busted can of biscuits and I need some help. They're going to want to stop and reach. Posting that with a transformation photo, boom, done. If you have not hit Success Club yet for this month, post a transformation photo of yourself. Use that line. Go into your journey and your story. So intriguing. People want to know. And they're like, if you can do it, I can do it. That's what you always the goal that we're after. We want people to know they can do it too. You can start by asking a question. Have you ever felt like you had no control over your life? Anybody coming off of 2020 is going to say, hell yeah. And then go into the meat of what you're talking about. And maybe it's that you gain control over your time, your fitness, your health, your mood, your anxiety, your food, your mom chaos, your work chaos, whatever it is that you can give a tangent piece, the accountability group, the support group that you're in within this Beachbody community. Talk about that, because people need that. And if they know that you can be a resource for that, they're going to be excited and intrigued and want to reach out to you. And that's the goal, is to attract them. Using emotional power words, talking in numbers, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. But when you're creating that caption, just make sure that it speaks to you. And how long your caption is versus how short, there's no perfect way to do it. If you're somebody who is long-winded and loves to tell a long caption, go on with your bad self, because you're going to attract people that have the attention span to read that. If you're someone like me who has the attention span of a gnat, I write very short, simple captions because I don't have that attention span. If you do a long caption, I'm gonna scroll through to the bottom line and see what the end of the book says. I'm like, okay, I got you at the top, got you at the bottom. That's all I need to know. And nothing in the middle is getting read because that's just my personality. So I post super short things. She posts super long things. They're both perfectly normal because it's authentic to who we are and to what we would like to see on social media. So don't get overstressed about that. But your captions just take practice and use the new message pod. If you have a caption you're working on and you don't know how to say it or how to word it, put it in the message pod and we will help you reword it or make it easy on the eyes. The most important thing, don't bunch up all your words. Break up the text so that it's easy to see on the eye, so that you've got bullet points, you've got your statements that you want to be seen. If it's one long paragraph that all runs together, nobody's going to read that because it's too much. And it's like, oh, next, scroll on by. So just practicing, keeping it easy on the eyes and catching their attention.
So here are just some examples. We'll talk about transformation, but on the left, we have one of our coaches, Jackie. And she said, she starts with, if there's anything my mom ever taught me, it was that my body is beautiful no matter what I put on. But what I never felt was healthy when I looked at myself in the mirror. So she's pulling you in with like her story of like, oh, why didn't she feel healthy? She has a picture on the left of her taking a picture in the mirror. And then she goes on to talk about her journey, and you can see a visible transformation where she started on the left, where she is now on the right. And then she ends it with a call to action at the end. So we want to always have that call to action, whether it's letting them know you have something to join, or you're just creating a community and you want people to start practicing engaging with you. So her call to action is, so if you're ready to find something that will help you look in the mirror and say, damn, I look healthy and strong, drop a sunshine below and let's get you added to her amazing community of positivity and self-love. So she tells you exactly what to do. You read her story, you connected to where she was and how she struggled, but now how she's been able to have success. And now you know what to do in order to start the conversation with her. On the right, we have Jessica. Again, just a quick little photo of herself, and her hook line is, I'm not 14 and I will not fall into the tie-dye trend, I whispered to myself as I clicked add to cart. Okay, so again, it's funny, it's silly. It was during, quarantine when everybody was at home and everybody was into tie-dye and everybody was into online shopping, right? And then her call to action just tells a little bit of a story, and then happy Monday, friends, and please tell me I'm not the only one who caved on the tie-dye trend, or right? Okay, so again, she's just creating engagement. It really doesn't have anything much to do with health and fitness, but she wants to connect to people in the same season of life who want to follow the trends, right? Who were online shopping, that was me, and who like tie-dye, that was also me. Like, I think we speak to a lot because we're pretty much each other's target market, busy moms of 3 small children, but it had a lot of engagement. We turned out that's actually not tie-dye. What is that? Acid wash, right? But it created a community of people that were connecting and engaging with her. And truly, that's what we want to do with our social media. Is we always want to be creating a community, getting people excited to engage with you and your content, and get to feel of like who you are, so that when you do post that transformation story, they're like, okay, I know her, I like her style, I like her humor, I really do trust her, I see her showing up, I really do think I could work with her and she would help me. So again, building that know, like, and trust factor. Okay, do you want to do this one or me?
Go ahead.
Okay, so building a brand. So we say you're always main subject because you are the brand, which is true, but I feel like social media has changed a little bit. So let's talk about that. While yes, you are the brand, you always want to make sure it's serving your ideal customer. So we say talk to that one person. I always pretend to be talking to Jessica. I don't know who she talks to, but I always think, because again, when we started this, we were busy working moms of small kids. And that's who my target market is, right? So I'm always thinking, is this something that would serve her? So yes, I'm sharing my journey and things I'm learning. I'm owning my truth. I'm sharing, I'm sharing my personality and what I like, but always with the intent to serve. Always with the intent that if somebody comes on my feed or watches my story, they're going to walk away learning something, being inspired, being encouraged, learning a tip. I want people to come to my page and feel better when they leave it.
Yes.
It's not the Raquel McAfee show. It's not like, oh, look at me, look how great I am, look what I'm learning to do. No, I really want to invite them in and share my ups and downs and share what I'm learning. And again, leave them feeling better. Okay, so yes, you are the brand. So you're going to see me on my stories 95% of the time. Yes, there'll be some other recurring characters in there in my family, but for the most part, it's just me, and that's okay. But I'm showing up with the intent to serve. So again, when I'm adding value, I always ask myself, how am I serving my tribe, my community that's watching, my followers today? And then I also do a little self-check and say, would I want to follow me and read my post? And I'll be honest, sometimes there's weeks where I'm like, probably not.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a good little check to be like, am I follow worthy? Like, we all have those people online that we go to when we get to your phone. You're like, oh, I wonder what she's up to today. There's something about them that you want to see what they're up to. You want to read their posts. You want to read their captions. You want to watch their stories. I always want to make sure that I'm doing that for people that are coming, because honestly, they're like coming into my home, right? If you're coming into my home, you're part of my community. I want to make sure that I'm serving you and I'm being a good host. Okay. Again, who is the old you? Talk to them. So again, whether you started as a coach 5 years ago or 5 minutes ago, where did you start? Where were you? My life where I am now versus where I was when I started it's a complete 180. But I like to think about, where was I? I was overwhelmed. I was busy. I didn't know how to eat well. We were literally sugar-free, carb-free,
Red Bull,
taste free, diet Red Bull. I mean, like, we didn't have a clue what we were. Subway and baked chips. We thought we were eating healthy. We had no idea. So we really try to like talk to that person and share with them. We thought we had to work out for hours in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have told me I could do 30 minutes at home, I'm like, yeah, right. You're never going to get results. Good luck with that. And so I really try to hone in on talking to that person and what would I have needed to hear back then. Okay. What are you struggling with? It's okay. Not everything needs to be sunshine and rainbows. What are you struggling with? But before like wallowing in the struggle, how are you working through it?
Yeah, how are you overcoming?
So there's some things that I'm not going to share on social media. I don't share my whole life. You don't have to. You share what you're comfortable with. But if I've gone through something and I've come out the other side of it and I feel good and be like, here's what helped me, I'm going to share that because I feel like that's going to serve. If I'm still going through it and haven't figured it out, I'm not going to just get up there and complain, right? So we always want to, put a positive spin on it. What are you hopeful about? Man, the world can be such a negative place, but I feel like as coaches, it is our job to be a light for others. When we eat well, when we fuel up well, when we're listening or reading personal development, we're putting so much positivity into our bodies that it can't help but overflow to other people. And I truly believe that we are needed. I feel like we need more light in the world, and you never know who is on their phone today feeling discouraged. How can you show up in a positive way for them? Always show up if you can, being hopeful, being positive, sharing things that are helping you. How did you win your day? Share it. And then again, sharing your struggles, but always spin it to win it. People are going to relate to the struggle, but will be inspired to see how you're overcoming it. A prime example of this, and again, this is very extreme, but one of our coaches on our team, Laura, lost her brother-in-law this past year. He passed away from cancer, and it was not easy for her, and she definitely took some time off, but she showed up and she shared how showing up for herself and her exercise was helping her. And she wasn't afraid to like cry and say it's really freaking hard, but she was also showing up and saying, but I still know I have to show up for myself. I have to show up for my sister. I have to show up for my family. By me making my health and fitness a priority, it's helping me grieve. It's helping me get through this. And she really shared it in a beautiful way. So again, you don't by any means need to share anything that you're not comfortable with, but just know you showing up in a beautiful, authentic way is completely inspiring, and you never know who needs to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, let me just take this. Okay, so this is me just airing my dirty laundry. You're not gonna get it right in the beginning, okay? This is some of my very first posts as a brand new coach. My first post was a collage. I posted my Beachbody coach link and just a picture of products. I would never recommend you do this, okay? Because again, I'm not a walking, talking Beachbody billboard. I'm Raquel McAfee. And this just screams, I'm trying to sell you something. And why, yes, I am offering a solution and I am selling it because I know it works. I've seen it work. I know that my life is completely transformed of it. I don't want to turn people off by being so aggressive with just like mass marketing, right? Like, that's not the world we live in. That's like a straight commercial, and I don't ever want to be that person. We've all seen it, right? Clearly I did it, but I don't recommend it. So things we also don't recommend, posting Beachbody logos, posting just a picture of you with your Shakeology, we both did it, and saying, here, order here with a link. We would never want to do that. We always want to create curiosity and not necessarily resistance. So let me give you an example. here I am, like I said, serving it up in a platter, Shakeology. Like, people are like, what is she selling? Again, would not recommend this, but bless my heart, I didn't know better. But now, here's a way that you could still show this. I'm showing Shakeology. We're outside, we're laughing. It's in a pretty little mason jar, reusable straw. This creates resistance of like, why are they so happy? What are they drinking? I love that mason jar. That opens up the door to having conversations and curiosity versus she's just trying to sell me something. I don't even care how great it is, not interested. So just know that, always creating, making sure that you're sharing in a genuine way that's not going to turn people off. And if you have questions on that and you're like, is this okay to share? Post it in our new coach pod and we will give you tips on like, ooh, maybe you could do it like this. Because we definitely don't want you to make mistakes that we made.
Okay, so posting transformations. This is something that every single person should be doing. I know it's uncomfortable to take photos. I know it's uncomfortable to put yourself out there like that. But remember, if you inspire one person to get off the couch and change their life and to get off of medication and to lower their blood pressure and lower their risk of disease, increase their immunity, like, there's so many incredible benefits that have nothing to do with you. So when you get nervous and you think, oh, posting a transformation makes me so nervous, remember, it's not about you. It's about the life that you could possibly impact. That mom who could possibly show up and be happier for her children because she saw you on social media share about the journey. So when you get nervous, don't think about yourself, because remember, it's not about you. It's not about anybody out there except for that person who needs to see it and who's going to be inspired by it. But when you're posting it, use similar positioning, do side by sides, and try to only do 2 side by sides at once. So when you're taking your progress photos, you should be doing multiple angles. So your front, side, back, side, regular clothes, swimsuit clothes, workout clothes. Take as many as you possibly can, because you need to be posting a transformation weekly. Yeah. People need to understand that, whoa, this is awesome. So maybe you're posting your front transformation this week, same body, same photo, posting the side transformation next week, the back, vice versa, posting it multiple times. People need to see things up to 7 to 9 times before it actually sinks in. So you want to be repetitive, especially with your transformations, your successes, your journeys, because people have to see it more than once. If you post it once and then never again, there may be like 3% of the people that follow you may have seen it and may have taken action. But if you're posting it every single week, people are going to see it repetitively and they're going to be interested, and they're going to be way more likely to reach out or engage with the offers that you're putting in your stories, and they're going to be wanting to be involved in what you're doing. Keeping the photos similar, keeping it 2 by 2, and always remember, people read left to right. So you want your transformations to read left to right. So your before photo, as you see here, we have two examples. The before is on the left, the current is on the right, so you can clearly see where they were and where they are now. If you flip it, it's very confusing on the brain and they can't understand it. And then really dive into your captions about how you're feeling from the inside out. Like, a picture tells 1,000 words, but if you can really tap into the emotions, the difference in confidence, the difference in energy. I went from feeling like a lethargic, busted can of biscuits, miserable in my own skin, to excited for the summer and to put on a bathing suit at the beach with my kids, not hiding from the camera. Like, tapping into those emotions that you're feeling and that women that are in your season of life are feeling, is going to be the difference between somebody scrolling by and somebody saying, I cannot ignore what this girl is doing, because whatever it is, I need to have it. She's got energy. She's excited. She has a clear transformation. I need to do this too.
All right, so we have created for you your first 30 social media post ideas. We will post these links in the new coach pod so you have it. It's kind of like a bingo board. You don't have to follow a certain which one to do first, but just try to go in your next 30 days and check them off. Okay, so if you haven't already announced yourself as a coach, sharing why you became a coach or what you're excited about, you need to go ahead and do that. We have a healthy meal, a workout post. Don't worry, we're going to do some examples, but these are all what we'd love for you to do, is start getting in the habit of posting daily. Okay, again, Don't overthink it. Your first few posts probably won't be great. Ours definitely weren't. But just get in the habit of showing up. Again, building that know, like, and trust factor. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to be the perfect photo. It doesn't have to be the perfect caption. Just start practicing. Just like you push play on your workout. It can sit, Beachbody, you can have access to Beachbody On Demand and never open that app. Or you can just start, and maybe you're only able to do the first 10 minutes of the workout, and that's okay, but you started. And that's what we want you to get in the habit of, is just starting. It doesn't have to be perfect. It won't be, quite honestly, it just won't be. That's okay. Just start getting the habit of posting, sharing your journey, and getting people letting in on what it is that you're doing. We also have this in Unit 7 and Team VIP. We'll also post
now called a guide.
Now called a guide. Facebook changed it on us. Not a unit, a guide. Where we have example weekly social media templates where you see examples from Jessica and I. We took some from our social media and we gave you, okay, lifestyle post. Here's an example. Transformation post. Here's an example. Sharing a recipe. Here's an example. A fitness post, here's an example. Mindset post, here's an example. So we've kind of given you some ideas to get the wheels turning. I wouldn't recommend just copying and pasting word for word because, again, not authentic to you, but take what we have created for you and make it your voice. How would you say something like that? How would you share a fitness post? How would you share a recipe post? But these are some examples for you, again, just to get the wheels turning so that you feel good and you feel confident and you have some examples to refer back to.
Okay, so I know, Amanda, that you're on this call live, but I know you're driving, so if you have questions, you're more than welcome to unmute. If you have questions and you're watching the recording, put them in our message pod. But remember, the most important thing is action. So if you can commit to posting every day for 30 days, the amount of knowledge and growth and experience and confidence that you're going to get is absolutely better than anything we can teach you. You cannot just learn this. You can't just take this and say, man, I'm going to start. I'm going to get on that. I will tell you from experience, the only way to get better is to force yourself to go all in, post every day, no matter what. And you're just going to naturally evolve into your own personal brand, your own personal posting style. You're going to see, okay, this posted really well. Okay, this one, not so much. Like, you're going to naturally navigate and figure out what works for you, what works for your community, what you feel good about, and what comes naturally, and then just work from there.
All right. Amanda,
I don't think I have any questions. Excuse me. Well, I've stopped driving, so I'm safe. I have just started sort of leaning into like the posting on a regular basis, and it is very uncomfortable, and I'm not getting very many likes, and that sucks. But I'm just taking it as like a learning curve, and it is just like you said. I really appreciated what you had to say about like just building the like, know, and trust, because I think that that's all that's happening right now is like my community's just seeing me showing up more often than not. I do worry about like inundating it, that they're going to get bored or tired of it. I am switching up the content, but it is a lot of me. I don't have kids, so I think that that's my own personal thing that I struggle with, but like I don't have kids, so they're like cute and fun and ridiculous to like also post about.
I rarely post about my kids, so don't feel like you have to, right? But I would say too, and I forgot to mention this, so I'm so glad you said it. Don't get caught up in what we call the vanity metrics of the likes and the comments, because I will tell you right now, when we first started, I would literally get 2, maybe 3 likes, one of which was my mother, one of which was Jessica, and one of my other best friends. And like, that's it. But it doesn't matter, because again, people are seeing it. I've also had people join me that never liked, never commented. I didn't even know they were seeing it. Right? So I always, when I post too, and it's easy, we get caught up in that too. We're like, well, that post bombed, but you never know what's going to connect with somebody, and you never know who's going to find you, Amanda. And I always say, I post because I think one day someone's going to stumble upon my feed, go down the Amanda rabbit hole and be like, I really like this girl. They're going to read all of your posts that you have there that are there for you. And they're going to be like, I really love everything she's saying. So I always try to remind myself that too, because it's hard on the ego when you're like, did anyone see it?
And I'm like, they can't
do
see
I
it.
need to delete and repost?
I need to repost.
So what you're feeling is totally normal. We've been doing this for 6 years, almost 6.5.
Embarrassing.
And we still have those thoughts. We have to remind ourselves, it doesn't matter. That's a vanity metric. It feels good in my
There are
ego.
so many people who have massive followings on social media and make no money.
And there's also people in the
Okay.
Beachbody community that maybe on a good day get 16 likes and have made $1 million in Beachbody. 100%. So once we figured that out, we're like, oh, okay, so it's fine. But yeah, so thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
That's a good thing
Okay.
that we definitely needed to cover.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, that's very helpful. And I catch myself. I'm like, it doesn't matter. You're just you're building likability. You're building trust. You're building.
You know, make time to do that networking so that you're constantly pulling. The more that you're engaging on social media, the more people that are going to see your stuff. Like if you can go in and engage on new people's accounts or on people that are following you that aren't currently like actively engaging, go engage on their stuff before you post. Because social media likes to see that you're not just dumping content, but that you're actually interacting. You're replying to people's stories. You're talking on people's comment or on people's static posts. You're commenting. They want to see that you're an engaging member and you're not just like dumping content and bouncing, which is, I get in a bad habit of that sometimes.
Yeah. And I think too, if you're, cause you're always worried, like, am I going to be like overloading people? Are they going to get sick of seeing my post? That's a normal thought too. But if you're showing up with the goal to serve, educate, inspire, add value, people don't get tired of it. Really, truly. We've been posting almost every single day for 6.5 years straight. And I always say, if you're not for me, that's totally okay. I don't expect everyone to love everything I post, and that's okay. They have a choice to follow me or not, but I'm not thinking about them. I'm thinking about the person who would benefit from this or who does look forward to
But what you're doing is needed. Like your motivation, you're inspiring, like the stuff that you talk about on social media, people, they're not going to get sick of it. Like they're not going to be like, oh, this girl is too happy. She is too positive and she is
just too bright of a light in this world.
Too much value. I can't handle it. It's too much. I'm out of here. I'm going to go hang out in a cave. She's not your person anyway. If they're going to have that opinion. Like I've been following Raquel for 6 years. I still look at her crap every day. I mean, we are our biggest fans. And we, it's just when you're posting with integrity and authentically, you don't ever have to worry about that, for sure.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was very helpful.
Absolutely.
Good. All right. Well, you have a great rest of your day, and I'm going to get this posted in our message pod. Bye, y'all.
Awesome. You too. Bye.